Hello everyone, my name is Yona and this is Postcards from Japan, and today I'm going to show you how I learned Japanese. Okay. So, I lived in Japan for a year, and before that I studied a lot. I took some lessons, but I did the majority of it on my own, and I'd like to share with you which books I used, which websites, and what really helped me. First things first, I'm going to show you the first books I ever used, which were these books from AFS. AFS is the exchange student organization I went to Japan with, and they have their own textbooks which I got. There's two of them. There's the one for kanji and the one for regular grammar, and it's built for 12 months, so it's Kokosei no Nihongo, Juni Kagetsu, Japanese high schoolers Japanese, 12 months, and it has a chapter a month with different lessons, and I found this to be really useful. I'll show you a quick insert of what it looks like inside. And then the second one is for the kanji, the Japanese characters. You can see me practice some here. And it has all of them laid out. It has, how many are in here? Let's have a look. Around 200-300, which is not a lot. There's around 2,136 in the standard set, but I'll show you the book I used afterwards. And it's a really quick, easy beginner's guide. It took me around 2 months to get through these, so not 12 months. But they were really nice. I like these. Something that you can actually get for yourself is the next one. It's this set of Nihongo So Matome, which looks like this. They have like animals on them. And this one is for N3. These levels are for the Japanese proficiency test, JLPT. And they go from N5 to N1, N1 being the hardest. This is in the middle. This is the one I took during my exchange here. And there's a few of these. There's one for grammar, for kanji, for reading comprehension, and for listening comprehension. I have the one for vocabulary here because this has a lot of words that don't come from kanji, so it's just hiragana or katakana. And I really like these. These are split up in 2 weeks, and every day of the week has a next lesson. It has a few vocabulary words and example sentences, and it's just really easy to use. These went a bit too slowly for my taste, but I really enjoyed them, and I think they're quite good. They're not my favorite, but they're solid Japanese learning books, and there's a lot of them for every type and for every level. So if you want to start, I'd recommend just going for the N5 and having a look at them. They have English, Chinese, Korean, so depending on what language you can do, all three are used to teach you Japanese here. My favorite textbook for learning Japanese was this one. It's the Shinmaster. And this one is the Bunpo, so it's grammar, again on N3 level, because this is the last one I had. And it has a lot of grammar in it. It really teaches you the subtle differences. I'd recommend using this one with a Japanese tutor to explain certain things, because not all of the explanations are perfectly clear, although it's also quite good to study on your own. I did that a lot as well. It always has similar words grouped together, similar phrases, and then it has longer reading comprehensions. It really also has the answers in the back, and it really has everything. Plus, the cover of this is so pretty. Again, it has stuff for kanji as well, so it's not just grammar, but this again is the grammar book, and it's been my favorite. Okay, the final textbook I used while in Japan, I actually bought this with a book voucher I got from my host grammar, which was super sweet. I really am happy that I got this because it's so good. It's the Kanji in Context Revised Edition, a study system for intermediate and advanced learners from the University of the Inter-University Center for Japanese Language Studies and the Japan Times, which it's just really good because it has all kanji you really need, all 2,136. Yep, what's the last one in here? Tai, it looks like this, and it is used for coronation ceremony. It's not a character I've ever used or have studied because I'm not through with this one yet because it has so many vocabulary words and so many characters. It shows you the stroke order, although I would recommend just learning the general stroke order instead of learning it character by character because the rules apply to all and then you can write them easily. But it has special words in red that teach you the reading of the character, then it has more vocabulary words. It has all of the different readings because a single character has multiple ways it can be read in certain contexts. But I opened it to the page where it has kanji, which means kanji, Chinese characters. There's a lot of these, and I really like this. There's a workbook as well. There's actually two, because there's so many, I had to split it up in two. I have the first one, and though I haven't been using it much, I do find it helpful for certain things when I'm not quite sure how a word is used. There's 3 more books I can show you, and then I'm going to go to online stuff. A friend of mine gave me these. They're really good. It's Read Real Japanese. She lent them to me, and I've been reading them recently. I just started. It's contemporary writings by popular authors and short stories by contemporary writers. So there's 2 of them, essays and fiction, and they have well-known authors. There's a Murakami story, there's a Banana Yoshimoto story in here. And then again, the essays as well, there's really many. There's a Hiromi Kawakami, etc. They're great. Okay, I'm sorry my camera died on me, but yeah. These have Japanese stories in them and short fiction, where there's full Japanese on one side, and on the other side it has the explanations, and at the back it has even more grammatical explanations. So it's great because you're actually reading and not just having weird sample sentences that don't really make any sense. This is real fiction. It's actual stories that famous authors and well-known authors wrote, and they're actually really entertaining. The first one in here is about a bear going on a picnic with you. It's absurd, but it's really funny. And the last one is it's a story that's centered around the pun, and the pun is great and the story is great, and you should probably check this out. That's the last book I have. Let's put you to the side. Let's move on to websites. So the first website I've queued up is Wanikani. Wanikani is a Japanese learning resource created by Tofugo. It's really cool because it uses spaced repetition to teach you kanji. It's all about vocabulary in kanji, mainly kanji. Teaches you all of them. There's 60 levels, and it turns it into a game, which I find really fun because sometimes I lack motivation, and if there's a prize, if you can level up and get points and whatever, I'm all for it. So I currently have a lot of reviews to do and some lessons, but wait, I'll show you a quick demonstration of how this works, and then we can move on. Okay, back here, the next thing I have is Easy NHK. So if you put in NHK, the website pops up. It's News Web Easy is what it's called, and it's Japanese articles about various things, newspaper articles, or yeah, in this case NHK is TV, but it's written articles that use easy Japanese for you to understand, and they have furigana, so it tells you the pronunciation of words you might not know, and definitions of different words. And it's really cool because it also has color codes for certain people's names and country names, because you might not know what they are. So this is a great tool if you want to actually use your Japanese skills actively instead of just using a textbook. And the final tip I have for studying Japanese is to actually actively use it. The websites and the Read Real Japanese do this already, but just find something that interests you. Here I have the novel form of Kimi no Na wa, which is an amazing anime movie I got to see in theaters in Japan. It's so good. I have so much stuff. The art book, it's really pretty. But this is the novel, and since I already know the story, I can do my best to read it and that's what I recommend. Finding things that you enjoy, be it online articles, video games, turn them to Japanese. Netflix has so many shows in Japanese. I wrote a blog post about my top 5 where you can actively learn the language if you turn off subtitles. If you have subtitles on, you're probably not learning anything. But if you don't, if you're actively immerse yourself into the language, if you have an online dictionary ready, then you learn a lot. The same goes with speaking. Find actual Japanese people in your area. Online, there's so many options to find people to talk to, and actively use the language if you're at an intermediate stage. Beginner's level, stick to the books, listen to things, listen to podcasts. I have listened to so many podcasts. The Japanese podcasts, I have links some down below that are great. So yeah, just actively use it all the time and practice, practice, practice. I hate the saying practice makes perfect, but it's actually kind of true. Good practice helps you learn the language, and actively using it does too. So yeah, that's how I learned Japanese. I hope you can use these tips and tricks for your studying. If you'd recommend any other books, I'm sure Genki is great. There's so many others, but these are the ones that I used and I really liked. And I hope I'll see you next time. And that's all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a comment, give it a like, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. If you've used any of these, if you need any other help, just comment down below or send me an Instagram DM. I'd love to give you some advice. My Instagram and Twitter and stuff is all in the description. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.